Hello and welcome to Pushing Cardboard. This is an unboxing I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do. I ordered this game from Decision Games about 2.5 months ago, and I contacted them last week to say, hey, it's never arrived. Do you know anything on your end? And they said, oh no, we shipped it early November, and they tried to get a tracking number from the USPS, but the Postal Service said they didn't have a tracking number. I went to Canada Post, and they said if I didn't have a tracking number, maybe it never made it across the border. Anyway, the Decision put in a whole claim, or was starting to put in a whole claim, and they're going to send me a new game. And then 2 days later, bingo, it arrived on my doorstep. So it did finally arrive, and the outer packaging was quite beat up because it's been in transit for like 2.5 months, but they wrapped it really securely, and the box looks in perfect shape. It's oh my gosh, it's a heavy box. It's a big, thick box. Axis Empires Ultimate Edition. This is the Axis Empires, the new version that has Totaler Krieg and Dai Senso, and then I guess it also has a couple other things that I wasn't even aware of. Schiffskrieg and Dice of Decision 2, so a couple of other expansions. It's going to be a monster. It was very expensive. I'm not going to sugarcoat that at all. It was very expensive, and the shipping, because this thing is really heavy, the shipping was like $70 or $80 alone. Yeah, the shipping was more than you pay for some games, but it's a pretty looking box so far. It says the playing time is 1 hour to 100 hours. Complexity is high, verging on expert, and solitaire is medium. So there you go. Well, let's gently cut into this shrink and see what you get in this giant box that's been in either a customs warehouse or a postal warehouse for a couple of months. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna start doing arm curls with that and improve my strength. Okay. Core rules. Well, this actually is a couple of rule books. I'm going to have shrink upon shrink here on this project, it looks like. Oh, nice. I'm happy to note that as I pull these out, they are not on glossy paper. They're on a nice matte paper, printed on white, which is the way to go. Don't put any color behind the text. Just makes it worse to read or write on. Yeah, this looks okay. It starts with the glossary, so that's why that looks so chunky. And then we have components, and here we get to the game mechanics, and lots of stuff I notice here with there's shaded boxes that are clarifications, design notes, or examples. So this isn't all, like, every page isn't just filled with rules. There's lots of explanations and help along the way here. Though I don't see a lot of there's a few illustrations, but not many. It's little pictures of counters here and there, but definitely this is rules. Well, there's a couple of illustrations of how things work near the back here, but yeah, this is some housekeeping rules. What else have we got back here? Weather, factions. There is a ton. And then optional rules. So we get 56 pages of real rules, and then the optionals start. And so that's a 64-page rule book. That is a hefty rule book. Not for the faint of heart, obviously. But, you know, there's a lot of big fans of Totaler Krieg, and so no surprise there. Here's the rule book for the Dice of Decision expansion module. Again, printed on white matte paper. Looks good. Rule changes to Axis Empire. So there must be some. I don't really know anything about the Dice of Decision module. Perhaps. So it says it's a random campaign generator that allows you to explore various alternate history paths. Well, there you go. So that's what it's all about. So that's kind of cool. If you're a diehard Axis Empires player, then this is just going to let you go crazy. Holy smokes! Looks like another 64 pages of rules or optionals, I guess, is kind of what you might think of the Dice of Decision module. Here's 3 more books. The Schiffskrieg module rules. Now this is going to be something about the air and naval warfare. So this is updates the air and the naval game if you want. Again, an optional add-on. Looks just like the other rule books, except for a nice big example of play there. That's nice. And again, pretty thick. This one's not 64, a 56-page rule book for the Schiffskrieg module. Okay, so we had a core rule, and then this is the Totaler Krieg exclusive game rules. So if you're just playing the campaign in the West and East, but not the Pacific, I guess this would be the rules particular to that. I'm kind of getting used to what these rule books look like. They are dense. Boy, this is, like I said, not for the faint of heart. Looks like another 56 pages for the Totaler Krieg exclusive rules, and now the same thing for the Pacific. This is the Dai Senso exclusive game rules. So if you want to just play the Pacific War. I haven't read anything about how well this has been received yet. Lots of people are playing it already, but boy, so far these rule books are impressing me. They look great straight out of the box. Yeah, 48 pages for the Dai Senso rules. Counter sheets. Now that is a big bundle of counter sheets. We better have a closer look. I know fans of unboxing videos are always eager to have a look at what the counters look like and just what the component quality is like for a game, for sure. Alright, well, let's start with this small sheet. So these are half-inch counters, so they're small. I got a feeling the maps are going to be huge, so I'm sure the counters, they couldn't go with 5/8 inch counters because it'd make the maps too huge, probably. There's the flip side. Here's some Dai Senso counters. More Dai Senso counters. We have some US and British counters here, some Russian counters, some communist China counters. There's the Russians. There's the British. Actually, probably some Commonwealth there, I imagine. The Americans. Here's a sheet from Totaler Krieg. Some German units, and some French units. British and American units again. And there's probably some Russian units, I would guess. Totaler Krieg, the top of this sheet is Totaler Krieg. There's a bunch of markers, and then it looks like a bunch of minor nations through here. And then at the bottom here we have some counters for the Schiffskrieg optional. Those are these brown ones at the bottom. Here's more Schiffskrieg counters. This is got the Japanese, Germany, France, Italy, Britain. Don't think you want your naval units to end up looking like that, but there you go. More Schiffskrieg counters. This is a big sheet of US stuff. And then some dice of decision counters. So you're gonna have to keep all the counters straight from the different that go to there's basically 4 different products in here that can all be used together, but you're gonna have to keep the counters straight from one to another. And here's the rest of the counters for dice of decision. So we have some Japanese, we have some German, British, French, Russian, some minor nations. There we go. Well, another giant bundle. Everything in this game is a bundle. There's not one of anything. I think. This is going to be charts and tables, I would think, but we will see. Components list and symbology. I guess they don't double-side that because you keep it. You need to see it during the game. Support unit and convoy marker aid card. Same thing, backside. Axis deck building chart. One for Dai Senso, one for Totaler Krieg. Soviet deck building chart. Again, one for Totaler Krieg, one for Dai Senso. Same thing for the Western Allies. Game creation tables. Chapter 1, The Great War, 1914 to 1922. Wow. Holy smokes. I didn't realize that there was rules to go back that far, but there we go. Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. So there's like 8 pages of this game creation between the war business. Chapter 1, outcome checklists for the Great War. Same thing there. Chapter 2, outcome checklists between the wars, 23 to 36. Final setup chart, Totaler Krieg. Final setup chart, Dai Senso. Something called area tables. More stuff, a final setup chart of markers and countries. Map overlays. Oh, overlays. Holy smokes. Axis faction card for Dai Senso. So this, we have, Schiffskrieg charts and tables here. So I suppose this is a player aid that's just applies to the Schiffskrieg, perhaps. Soviet faction card Dai Senso. Oh, Schiffskrieg. Well, Schiffskrieg charts and tables here too. So I guess I was wrong about that last one. It's for Dai Senso and Schiffskrieg. Same thing for the Western Allies. Dai Senso and Schiffskrieg charts and tables. Dai Senso Axis force pool. That's probably gonna, yeah, I thought so. Single-sided because you're gonna need that. Soviet force pool for Dai Senso. Same deal. It'll be a Western Allies one and then strategic hex tracker for Dai Senso. This is again single-sided because you obviously need this beside the maps to keep track of something. Strategic hexes, I guess. European war display for Dai Senso. So if you're only playing Dai Senso and not Totaler Krieg, you keep track of the European war track on this this little chart. And then we're going to have some of the same things for Totaler Krieg. We have the Axis faction card. Inside here is the Schiffskrieg, which makes sense. And we're going to have the same thing. We got one for the Soviets, one for the West. And then same thing, single-sided force pools. You don't start with a ton of things, I think, in this game. The Soviets, and the Western Allies. And then again, strategic hex tracker for Totaler Krieg. Scenario display, Totaler Krieg. And those are, of course, double-sided for different scenarios. A battle board, single-sided. And a fleet HQ display, single-sided, of course. Shipbuilding track, single-sided, of course, as well. That's all the charts and tables. Well, there was about 1 million of them. We've got some dice. We got some baggies to put everything in once we get it taken out. I'm going to just go right to the bottom here because I can see this is where the they mentioned those this is a little strange. Well, the maps are in the very bottom. I was about to say, I don't know where the maps are in this box, but they're underneath the insert, strange enough. And this looks to be the map inserts. Maybe things change from year to year or something, but let's see that one there. Caucasus. Here's one for Poland. I'm not going to pull them all out. There's one. I see one for Serbia. They must be. I don't know. I shouldn't even take a guess. I was going to say. I guess maybe the map changes from year to year depending on things that happen. Maybe railroads get built or infrastructure gets wrecked, I don't know. But those are definitely map overlays that have to be included somehow. All right, now we have a lot of decks of cards. Western Allies Totaler Krieg and Western Allies Dai Senso. Axis Totaler Krieg, Axis Dai Senso, Soviets Totaler Krieg, and Soviets Dai Senso. Well, we might as well look at some of these and see what the artwork looks like and try and get a feel for what's going on in... I mean, old hands at this game will probably be delighted to see these and know what's going on right away, but for the rest of us... It looks like there's events and whatnot here. These look incredibly dense and totally alluring. I totally want to see how these work. So that was the Western Allies Dai Senso deck. Let's have a quick look at the Western Allies Totaler Krieg deck, which isn't quite as huge as the first one. There we go. We saw the Operation Husky card in the other deck as well. Market Garden, Manhattan Project. All right, yeah, these look amazing. I'll crack open one or two more just for the fun of it. I think we're getting the idea of what they all look like. They're pretty standard, wide poker size cards. Oh, Barbarossa, Sea Lion, Case Blue, wow. Oh, this looks like a bit of an overwhelming system, but I can see why so many people are giant fans of it. I don't think there's any need to open the rest of these decks of cards because we pretty much know what we're going to get there. So let's pull out the insert here and have a look at the maps. Now I know the maps are going to be huge and there's no way we're going to be able to see the whole things, but we'll see what we can. We'll pan back as far as we can and see what we can get on the table. Yeah. Okay, yeah, these are huge. Huge, huge, huge. Here's part of the Dai Senso map here. We might as well zoom in. We can't see the whole thing. Might as well zoom in and get a good look at what the map looks like. The map looks fantastic, is what it looks like. The map style is great. Here's chunks of China, India. Those are giant map sheets. Those are not your standard size. Well, maybe they're the standard size. Maybe it's just that it comes in such a big box. They're not folded as much. Who knows? Here we go. Here's a part of the Totaler Krieg map. Let's zip back out and see more of what's going on. You can see there's tracks and charts and whatnot along the edges as well. And down here we've got the Black Sea, part of the Mediterranean, Caspian Sea, Middle East. I don't know that I have a table that would be big enough to play both games together, to put Totaler Krieg and Dai Senso on the same board. Well, here you go. This is the other part of the Dai Senso map. This is basically the Pacific, from Hawaii to Japan. It's the Solomons here. Midway, Wake. And then finally the Western Europe map, which is the last map for Totaler Krieg. I'm going to zoom in again. Let's have a look at, let's have a closer look at some of France. Yeah, very, very clean looking map. I mean, they're huge. Lots of there's turn tracks, terrain effects. So they've used the space where they can. But these are definitely maps of the world. So that. I'm sorry I didn't show you all the cards, but I think we saw enough of the cards to get an idea of what they look like. That's Axis Empires Ultimate Edition. That is, like I said, it was an expensive box. I think it cost me over $300 Canadian plus shipping to get it here, but it's huge. If you're paying by the pound, maybe you're maybe it's not such a bad price after all. I look forward to the day when I finally make the dive and try to play a scenario tour of this, because I've always been really, really interested about everything I heard about this game, and it's kind of got a unique card flavor. It's not your typical card-driven game. So anyway, this was Axis Empires. I'm Grant Lindenberg for Pushing Cardboard. Please check out my podcast, the Pushing Cardboard podcast, or stop by the website sometime, pushingcardboard.com, and we'll see you there. Thanks again for watching.